Hey everybody on Instagram, I just wanted to jump on live and tell you about today's Zoom room. And also, I just wanted to put my super cute sausage dog in the background because she's like this little cat dog that sits on top of the couch. Anyway, she's real mini. Joe, you will appreciate Lola in the background there. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on live and give a debrief about today's free Zoom room. There was just a couple of people on it today and it is streamed. The replay is available in the free Facebook group, The Art of Listening to Your Body. The link is in my Instagram bio. But there was a couple of topics that we talked about. One was pet grief and making the decision to let a pet go. Hi Bex, thanks for joining. So you guys can ask questions if you want as I go along. So we were talking about pet grief and how pets, dogs, cats, animals that we have in our life can sometimes bring more grief than the loss of a human or the impending loss of a human in our life. And I talked about the process that to use in the masterclass replay, which is still free up until a couple of weeks. It's also on the podcast, but I talk a lot about processing emotions. And I used an example of how to do a process if somebody is triggering you in your life. But the process can be adapted in so many amazing ways. And for one of them, it's pets. So because for any of you who are familiar with it, the process is a verbal dialogue process. And a little doggy is not going to speak back to you. Your goldfish is not going to speak back to you. Your bird, your cat will not speak back to you in English, right? But we know that animals have just got this amazing energy. And if you were to give them a voice, what would they say back to you? So I encourage you to go and watch the Zoom room replay in the free Facebook page. They all get streamed. They all get pinned to the announcements and put in the guides, because when I'm talking to someone on unpacking stuff, so much information just comes through to me. So we talked about the energy of animals and the grief and the loss of animals and the emotions that brings that can require to be processed. But also what came up with this was around decision making. And I love how we just experience all of these different experiences in life, but they can teach us about so many other areas in life. So the decision that was coming up is my dog is unwell. Do I make the decision to let them go, to put them down? And my work is all about how can you become emotionally grounded. First, empty out your emotional cup, which can sometimes take a little while, but it can be quite quick as well, is how can you empty out your emotional cup so that you are able to make decisions from a grounded place? And, we started talking about, do we put this dog down or not? And it just makes me think of everything that's going on in the world right now and the decisions that people are having to make, and the decisions that people are making because they're influenced by others' opinions or they're worried about what others will think. It's the same thing. So if you can make decisions from an emotionally grounded place and you're not overwhelmed, then you're going to feel good about your decision now. You're going to feel good about your decision later. You're going to be able to take responsibility for it. And you're not going to take other people's opinions about your decision so personally. So we explored all of that, making decisions that are good for you now and good for you later. They're good for you and they're good for other people who are involved. And that you are able to take responsibility for this decision because it's come from a grounded place. Because sometimes the decisions that we do make in life are going to still bring challenges that we need to learn to walk with. And so most people think, I don't want challenges in my life, I just want things to flow. But that's actually really unrealistic to expect that you can live a life without challenges. But what you can do is you can embrace your challenges and you can respond to them very differently rather than react to them. So usually when we are in a reactive state to our challenges, where we get all emotional and it really messes with our day or our life, that is when we don't want challenges. Whereas I'm in a place where I get kind of excited about challenges, not that I desire to manifest them to teach me lessons, but I always see them as an opportunity. So ultimately, you've got to take responsibility for your decisions, and usually people have a lot of regret or sometimes resentment towards other people because they've influenced their decision, because they didn't make it from a grounded place in what they felt was good for them. So how do you get to the place of making a really grounded decision? Is emptying out your emotional cup. And before you make a decision, you are putting a lot of conscious intention and energy behind your decision to then flow on to be able to take responsibility and deal with the challenges that may come with that decision. So making a decision is not just a split-second thing, and I'm often saying to people that it's not about responding to people immediately. I know that I used to be reactive. I used to be very responsive to people, and it got me in a little bit of trouble. So I had to admit to them, hey, I know that you're really used to getting immediate responses from me, but you're at least going to have to wait a couple of days now. And I learned how to communicate about the expectations of when someone can hear a response from me. So, hi, Catherine. I've gone off on a tangent and I'm speaking a lot more. I was covering what was in our Zoom room today, which is on the free Facebook group. There was something else that I talked about as well, I'll go into. But I had to learn to communicate when I would respond to someone. So I would say, I'll get back to you in a couple of days, and I would honor my word and I would make sure that I responded to that person in a couple of days, not leave it hanging so that we were both feeling uncomfortable about when are we meant to have this follow-up conversation. So know that you don't need to respond to people immediately, but communicate it. I need to think about this. Let me get back to you in a couple of days, by the end of the week, whatever actually works for you. So there's actually a lot of thinking required behind making a decision, because you want to put intention, you want to put good energy into the decision so that later on you can take responsibility for it and embrace all of the challenges that come with it. And you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, I've got to do this, this, and this. This is going to take me like hours or days to make a decision. Thank you for sharing this. So important to learn boundaries and practicing good communication. I love what you were talking about, and I'm going to use this. I will get back to you in a couple of days. Yes. So it sounds like a lot of work to put intention and energy into this, but most people make fast decisions. I am a fast decision maker, but I can tap into my intuition and what my body's telling me very quickly now. Most people are fast decision makers, not because they are naturally fast decision makers. It is more because they think they have to respond, they have to react. And at the end of the day, they make decisions that they regret. They resent the people that influence their decision because they weren't grounded in their own emotions. And then there's trauma, there's emotion that needs to be processed. So it actually takes you a lot more time to end up in these places, to have to process your emotions, rather than prevent it by doing a little bit more of the background work. That's you, Catherine. Okay, so intention, energy into your decision. Don't be too quick to respond to people. Let them know when you're going to get back to them. And then you take responsibility. Know that the challenges are still going to come, but you can embrace them as opportunities rather than, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in this position again. Oh, you're excited for a release. Yay. Yeah, that's another thing. Release is coming up where we unpack and we have amazing conversations like this. So I should probably do another live, but I'm on a roll. Is the other thing that I talked about on this Zoom room. So remember, when someone is being coached, there is so much learning. So I really admire the people who come on. It is free onto my Zoom room, and they allow me to share with them. They're vulnerable, they have tears, but I know that it's going to help everyone else who is active in that free Facebook group to watch this. So anyone who is on those free Zooms, and you see it, please comment and support them, because it's not easy to be vulnerable. But this is where the conversation went. We went from pet grief to talking about making decisions. And then we also talked about the frustration of when someone's just feeling like they're lost with their direction. And I'll keep this one brief. You can watch the rest of it. But this comes down to understanding the different personality types, the different constitutions that people have, and the different ways that people operate in life. Because there are going to be some people who are really go, 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 like me. I talk fast. And there are other people who are just going to be so laid back, and it really annoys the people that are go, go, go. Now, those people don't annoy me so much now, because I understand the value that they serve in this world, and that we actually need a variety of personalities. So if we had everyone in the world that was like me, unfortunately, the world would not turn around. So we need these different personalities. So having this frustration that people don't have direction, part of it is also knowing that they are on their own path. And sometimes the lesson can be, for these people who always have a plan, the lesson can be for them, well, can you lean back into not having a sense of direction for a period of time? But that work really comes down to, when we get frustrated with other people, is the communication element there, but also, can we understand that everybody has their own life path, and everybody has their different way that they express themselves to the world. I know that there are lots of dysfunctional expressions out there, and that's my thing. I love people to empty out their emotional cup, find themselves, and express their true selves. But for now, we need to, not everyone's ready to do the deeper work, so we need to find other ways to understand and have compassion, and primarily work on ourselves first, so that we don't get so triggered by others. So for those of you who've just joined, I also decided to do a live because my little dog, who's like a cat, is just very cute in the background. So it's Lola the sausage dog. You'll see her on my Instagram. I talked about Vedic astrology. I talked about the life and the soul journey. And I always start off my conversations very practically, and then we go into a lot of the energetics. And the Vedic astrology stuff is really interesting in terms of everybody's got their own life path, and everyone will come into their own success at a different age, whether it be a child, a teen, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s. Your time is coming. And so there are all sorts of different cool modalities that you can use to help support you. But I also like to catch people when, I know that I offer courses, but I always like to catch people when they're doing course after course after course and not actually implementing things for the long term. So this started with telling you to go and check out the stream from today's Zoom room, which is on the Facebook group, and you can grab it in my Instagram bio link. And then I started telling you more details about it and showing you Lola, the cute little sausage dog, in the background. So I am aiming to go live on a very regular basis. I'd almost say daily, but I'm doing it across different platforms. My personal page, Instagram here, I usually put them onto my grid, and then also any lives that I might do in the private Facebook group as well. And I always love your questions, so please ask away and feel free to ask anything if ever you catch me on here live. Anything else I want to share with you? There are a ton of things going on. I've got the masterclass replay, which is only going to be up for 2 weeks for free. There is a video version that you need to register for. The link is in my bio, theartoflisteningtoyobody.com/release. The course, if you want to integrate and implement and learn more about everything I've spoken about today, starts 3rd of February. The early bird ends on Sunday. It's $999 US. I did do another video the other day saying, I know the support that we offer on this course is huge, and I'm pretty sure that the next round of release, the price is going to go up, because we are responsive. This is not a course where we don't respond to you. And people have life-changing shifts on this 6 weeks. So the release replay is up. I did put it on the podcast because I was having all sorts of Mercury retrograde issues and tech glitches. So the audio version is on there, but that will also come down in a couple of weeks. So if you register for the replay, I am doing another Q&A tomorrow at 11:30. As long as you register, you should get, I hope, a 1-hour reminder for that. So I hope to see any of you on there who do have questions about the course. Thanks for joining me for a live that has gone on a lot longer than I thought. I still surprise myself as to how long I can speak to myself for. Anyway, how's Daisy? I love your work. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate hearing that. And I will touch base with all of you soon. See you later.